30 years ago, June 6, 1992, Kappa Delta held a headquarters dedication, celebrating and commemorating the move from Denver, Colorado to Memphis, Tennessee, our home today. As part of that celebration, we dedicated and then later buried a time capsule underneath the Kappa Delta name and crest that is part of our circular drive. With us today, we have Melanie McMillan-Shield, our Executive Director from 1988 to 2011.
Hi, Maggie. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. And Melanie was a very important part of the move to Memphis and the burying of the time capsule. So we thought it very appropriate to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're sitting here in the headquarters museum at Minnie Mae Prescott's desk. Yes. I think this was your original desk in Denver?
It was. I actually sat at this desk for 11 years.
Wow. Well, I know we're here actually to talk about the time capsule,
yes.
And I'm a little bit curious, like, who came up with that idea?
Sure. At the time, Pat Neiman was the national president and Libby Whifker was our national treasurer. And they sort of spearheaded our whole move. There was a committee who helped with the selection of the design of the building and the furnishings and what we wanted as far as for our membership. So we worked with a builder, and that builder suggested one day on one of our meetings to Pat, Libby, and I, why don't we put a time capsule out in the front? You know, it would be wonderful. So everyone thought it was a terrific idea, and so Pat sort of spearheaded that idea. And so sort of left it up to me to gather things around the headquarters that we would put in that would signify the importance of what was going on in the world in 1992.
Well, I wasn't there when we dedicated and buried it, but I did have the good fortune of being there when we excavated it. Right. And I will tell you, it was a nerve-wracking day. It was a beautiful day, but it was nerve-wracking. We had an entire construction crew. We had a machine called a telehandler. Oh, wow. And that was something that lifted up the crest, which I lived in terror was going to be dropped. And then we pulled out the time capsule, which was in this great copper box that had been sealed off. It was pretty cool. There was all kinds of things in there. The letters from chapters, like you said, newspapers, right. A copy of our ritual. We had our history in there, some significant programming from the time, and some of those things we pulled out today just to talk about and share. So I think probably most precious is a copy of our ritual.
Definitely. Timeless.
Timeless. Also in there, of course, was a 2-volume history. This was just the first 75 years, and I think we wrote another one.
We did. Cynthia Allen Weston wrote the 100th celebration, Ordinary Miracles. That history is incredible. It encompasses the history of Kappa Delta and is just as fabulous as this. Cynthia is the master of history, and she captured stories that really tell who Kappa Delta is.
For the 125th, most people should have their fall ongalas by the time they're watching this video, and there are 125 stories in there over our time. So it's a really special edition that I look forward to. The other thing that I think is very interesting and also dates back to my time is a copy of My Sister, Myself, which this is not the original binding, I know, but tell us a little bit about where My Sister, Myself came from, because I think this is the inception of many of our later programming.
Certainly. My Sister, Myself was the program that really kicked off Kappa Delta's belief in that confidence and self-esteem are so important to our members, and that it really is the thing that a sorority can give a young woman. The friendship, the support, those kind of things really do help you, enable you become your best self, and that's really what our founders wanted. They wanted all the women who joined Kappa Delta to really excel and become who they could be so that they could change the world and make a difference. And so My Sister, Myself was one of the first programs that was actually funded by the Golden Circle, which was also new that year. Mm-hmm. We had many things kick off that year. It sort of coincided with my first year as executive director and with Corey Stigall her last year of being national president and Pat Neiman becoming the next president. So we had a lot of change that year, and so really my sister and myself was our commitment to bettering our members and providing personal development. And I'm so proud of all the things that Kappa Delta has done throughout the years, and some of the things you guys are doing now with some of the new programming that includes wellness and belonging and inclusivity, and it's great. Tell us about that.
In so many ways, it hasn't changed, and in so many ways, it has changed. You know, we offer programming through a learning management system today. Many of our collegians are very accustomed to online learning. We launched Choose Your Confidence in 2021, which is differentiated programming across sisterhood, service, leadership, wellness.
Right.
And chapters can sort of choose and select what they most need and want at that time.
That's great.
And we're working on all member programming. That's to come. There's still more to come on that one. But we have a full training and development team here that work on our programming. And so I think about this being such an early version of what ultimately became our confidence programming, which is really neat. I think the other thing that's really changed is recruitment, and Into the Woods, which is a recruitment skit that also launched my first year of traveling. I think you should open that one up because that is a piece of history right there.
A VHS and cassettes that are no longer there. We were super proud of this. This whole concept, many of you are familiar with our long-standing skits that we did with Wizard of Oz. And so Pat Neiman and I were actually in New York and went to a Broadway play, and we saw Into the Woods. The one thing, you know, soon after this, as most of you who are under a certain age will know, No Frills Rush came into place, and Katie was a part of that discussion. We firmly believe that it was harder to tell your story in a skit than it was in one-on-one discussion. So we were a part of that, and then we also got involved because we were looking at who we were, again, the importance of personal development, our commitment to doing good in the communities, that we felt like philanthropy was a way we told our stories better than doing a skit or just talking about the fun we have on campus. We wanted to talk about the good we do because Kappa Delta is a lifetime membership, like you mentioned. And so we wanted to talk about the philanthropy part. So Katie actually was some of the instigators in starting the whole Philanthropy Day round. And I think you were just telling me now that there's some talk out there about other things, correct?
There are. I mean, Philanthropy Round is still very much a part, and we love to showcase Prevent Child Abuse America, which is near and dear to our heart. They are celebrating their 50th this year, which is great. And our partnership with the Girl Scouts, which I know you were very instrumental in bringing about, has been just a wonderful partnership. The other thing that we're seeing emerging on campuses, which I really think is special, is a values round where you know, the women are talking about the values of the organization with potential new members. And I just think that the whole, you know, the conversation, the approach is really going to resonate to this generation and the generations to come. And we had fun. The skits were fun. They are no more. Although now there are many performances on TikTok, I know, as a part of recruitment to showcase the chapter's spirit. So that's a very interesting change.
Oh, definitely.
And playing an interesting role in recruitment as well today. But a lot has changed, and I'm really proud of how Kappa Delta has been a part of that change over time and a leader in how we shift talking about who we are, how we continue to prioritize our values of service and giving and friendship and loyalty.
That's true.
It's really true.
Really, truly, the Nautilus could not be a better symbol for Kappa Delta, because I think the one thing I'm the most proud about Kappa Delta is it's changed constantly. That it's truly a reflection of what goes on in society, what our members are going through, what they're having to adjust their lives to be like. You know, the sorority's there to support them and whatever that is. And so very proud to be a Kappa Delta, and I think this organization will continue to keep growing for many years to come.
I agree, and thank you so much for being here and sharing the stories and the history. That's what celebrating the 125th is about, and it was really fun to reflect on just how much we're the same and just how different we are in 30 years. And with that, I would like to say happy anniversary, Kappa Delta.
Happy anniversary, Kappa Delta, and many more.